Even a vengeful, wrathful God. Hello, Trump Catholic, for TikTok purposes on this lovely Friday. Is it Friday today?
It's
No,
Thursday.
Thursday. It's
It's
Thursday.
Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Thanksgiving
Got a little
Thursday.
ahead. Oh, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yes, and so what is? I'm assuming you're over the age of 18.
Yeah, I'm 23.
Okay, and is it safe to assume you're some sort of theist?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, thank you, Anima, for the love. I appreciate you. So, we'll get to that, Sonia. I'm assuming that's what Trump Catholic is up to talk about as well. So, I'm assuming you want to talk about the first subject.
Yeah, just really quickly. I really want to focus on the third subject, but I do want to know just real quickly, what do you think about what did God lie about at the garden?
He so, oof. Okay. I believe that a lie through omission is still a lie, not telling the whole truth of a situation to try to influence the situation in one direction over another is a form of a lie. Would you agree?
Sure, but where's the lie?
Yeah. So again, you agreed that omitting truth is a form of a lie. Yes.
Yeah, get to the point though. I want to know what the lie is.
Okay. So did God tell Adam everything that would happen to him if he ate the fruit of knowledge of good and evil?
He would be unalived.
Is that everything that happened to him?
Uh, yeah. Well, he did get unalived later on,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. So what the question that I'm asking you, Trump, is
Mhm.
it everything? I know that that's one of the things that happened. I know that one of the consequences for disobeying God, but was that everything that happened?
In what context are you talking about disobeying God, or are you just talking about Adam and Eve?
I'm talking about the subject you asked me a question about, which was the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. So when
Okay.
Adam and Eve disobeyed God by eating the fruit of knowledge of good and evil, was being unalived the only result of that action?
Yeah, well, that kind of ties into the deeper theological subject, and we can go
Okay.
into it if you want.
Yeah, so I'd appreciate it if you just answered the question. Was that
I,
the
I'm
only
I'm
was that the only consequence for eating the fruit of knowledge of good and evil?
well, I'm gonna get to that in a second. I'm just trying to clarify your position, and I can tell you're trying to go for like a gotcha moment. And
No,
no,
I'm
I can
literally
I can
just trying.
tell,
I'm
I can
just
tell.
trying to get you. I'm just trying to get you to understand. You asked me where God lied, and you already
Yeah, yeah.
agreed that you are. Are you going to let me speak?
I'm waiting. I just want.
Okay, so you already agreed that a lie through omission is a form of a lie. Not telling the entire truth is a form of a lie. God did not tell Adam the entire truth of what would happen for eating the fruit of knowledge of good and evil.
And let me guess, you're gonna argue that because Adam and Eve they ate the apple, yet they didn't immediately weren't alive.
What
Therefore, the
what
lie omission occurred.
No, the lie of omission occurred because God did not explain to Adam that if he ate the fruit of knowledge of good and evil, his eyes would be made open to the knowledge of good and evil. He would be as God, and as a result of that, God would kick them out of the Garden of Eden, rescinding access to the fruit of life, therefore making them mortal, which led to their ultimate unaliving.
How is that? How is that a lie? What are you talking about?
Okay, so obviously, if A, then B, then see this thing through with me here, Mr. Catholic. If a lie can be considered a lie through omission, through not telling the entirety of a situation, right? God did not tell Adam the entirety of the situation of what would happen if he ate the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. He only told him what would happen at the end, not even a direct consequence of eating the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. There were two different events occurring here. There was eating the fruit of knowledge of good and evil and the reactions to eating the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. And then there was disobeying God and the reactions to disobeying God. God told Adam what would happen if he ate the fruit of knowledge of good and evil would be the consequences of disobeying him. The serpent told Eve that the reaction of disobeying God would be the benefits of eating the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. So they both lied. You agreed that the serpent lied, right?
Yeah. So let me
Yeah.
get to the let me get to the point though. So would you say that, for example, if I give you hey, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z, this is going to happen if we do X, Y, and Z. This is the end result. If I don't tell you every single step between X, Y, and Z to A, B, and C, is that a lie then? By omission, by your standard.
No, it's not my standard. I asked you, and you said yes.
No. I'm trying to paint a picture of what you actually believe in, because you're trying to find lie by omission. The thing is that right now, because you're trying to attack the Bible on this standard that you've constructed, I'm asking you what that actually means. So, like, let's just use a real world example. Just recently with the whole 35% Trump tariffs Trump was proposing on Canada and Mexico.
Okay, so let's say you're about to buy a car,
I was in the middle.
right?
I was in the middle of speaking.
So let's say you're about to buy a car, right, Trump? Let's
So
say you're
I
about
was in
to
the middle of
purchase-
speaking.
So let's say you're about to buy a car.
So I know
right?
you have to mute me because you're losing.
So let's say
You're
that
muting me
you're
because
about-
you're losing.
You're no, I don't
muting
care.
me.
I don't care about your example. So please just stay. Okay. So let's say you're about to buy a used car, right? And you go to the used car lot, and you're talking to the gentleman at the car lot, and he tells you that the car is in drivable conditions, and that's great. It is. It's in drivable condition. He doesn't tell you that the car has previously been in an accident that had body damage that makes it not road safe. But it's still in drivable condition, but it's not road safe. And he omits telling you that it is not road safe. Would you consider that a lie through not telling the entirety of the situation to the person that is about to make that decision?
So I would love to answer your example, but you have to answer mine first.
So
I know you're
I
dodging.
don't-
I know you're dodging.
I don't care.
Yeah, I know you
about your-
can-
I don't care about your political situation.
Then why are you up here?
In the United
Why
States.
are you up here?
I don't care about your political situation. Is any of this politics to you?
I'm bringing up I'm not trying to bring a political debate and a theology debate. I am using it as an example of lies of omission. So
Yes.
if you actually let me make
Go
the
ahead.
argument. Okay. So the argument was with Trump. He said, hey, Mexico, hey, Canada, if you don't comply with American goals, we're going to raise tariffs a hell of a ton. And that brought Canada and Mexico to the negotiation table. Now, did he tell the American people that hey, that was the ultimate goal? No, he did not. So was that a lie by omission?
Yes.
Yes, okay, I'm glad. So basically everything, if I don't tell you from point A to point B to point C to point Z, if I don't tell you every single step in between, that's a lie of omission by your standard, yes or no?
No. My standard would be if you're doing it for the intention of dissuading that person from being able to make a decision fully informed of their own accord.
Your full accord, okay.
Yeah, so if the intention is to prevent someone from being able to make a decision of their own accord.
So how is example with God saying, hey, Adam and Eve, you're going to be unalive if you eat this fruit? Wouldn't that entail that, hey, you're being removed from the Garden of Eden?
No.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
Especially not to beings that didn't understand the difference between good and evil yet.
Well, no, it's not that, because God literally said, hey, you will be unalive if you do this.
Yes, and so again, Trump, you agree that not telling someone the entirety of a situation before they make the decision, right? If you omit facts, you know what informed consent is, Trump?
Yes, and what I'm saying is that
Okay. So So you answered yes. You know what informed consent is. Thank you. That was the question.
Yeah, and
Good.
what I'm saying
Positive.
is that Adam and Eve had informed consent that, hey, if we are unalive when we eat this fruit, we're going to be kicked out of the Garden of Eden.
Okay, so no,
So,
that's
yeah.
no. So that Trump, how is
That's
being
your entire
unalive?
argument.
How is unalived equivalent to being kicked out of the Garden of Eden?
Where these souls go in Jewish
Okay,
theology,
did
where they go?
Did Adam and Eve know any of what you're about to say?
I would assume so.
Okay, so they had knowledge
Yeah, they had some form
of
of
good.
knowledge.
They had knowledge of good, and because so would you say that the
How does the knowledge of morality
Would you say-
relate
hold on,
to the
hold on,
knowledge of where
Trump.
you go when you are unalived?
how does the knowledge of morality relate to where you go when you're unalived?
Yes.
That's the question you just asked.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. It depends on if you believe if you have some sort of soul that is going to be judged for the action of its morality throughout its lifetime.
This was
right?
before
So
the
if
fall, so that doesn't
yeah.
apply.
So before the fall, all souls what?
So this was before the fall. This was before humanity has sinned against God. So therefore, they're not going to have this concept of, oh, I'm going to go to heaven, I'm going to go to hell. The concept actually at the time was, oh, if I get unalive, basically no matter what I do, unless if God raised me, this is in the Jewish theological view, you should probably read the Bible, because clearly you don't know this, they go to the pit, they go to Sheol.
Trump, we're talking about Genesis here. We're talking about Adam and Eve. We're talking about the first creation here. Did they have any knowledge of things that haven't been written yet?
No, but that doesn't mean that God didn't tell them the knowledge beforehand.
Okay. Do you think that beings that do not know the difference between good and evil can understand moral concepts?
Yeah, how is this a moral concept though? You're failing to demonstrate that.
You just said that souls are go where afterwards?
To the pit.
Okay, and why do they go to the pit?
Because they died. Or excuse me, unalived. F1. I love TikTok chat.
And so unalived, right? And so all souls go to the pit regardless of their actions.
That was a Jewish view.
Okay.
You can tell the writer of Genesis clearly wrote this in. He clearly mentions that, hey, no matter what you did, you went to the pit.
Okay, so Adam and Eve had this conversation with God outside of the what was presented to us. You're saying?
Potentially.
Okay, so potentially they did, and potentially they didn't. Correct?
Yeah, you're correct.
Okay, so did they have knowledge of what was going? Did they even know what unaliving was? Potentially they did, and potentially they didn't.
It couldn't have been potentially because God said that to them directly.
Yes,
that if you eat the fruit,
exactly.
So they didn't have knowledge that they.
So
were
if I
alive.
if I speak to you in Spanish without translating to you what it means in Spanish, would you be able? Could I hold you accountable to what I told you because I told you? So you should know because I told you.
No, that's a false equivocation fallacy.
Or would you have to understand it?
That's a false equivocation fallacy.
Would you have to understand it?
What I'm arguing is to understand it because God is a being that's all-knowing, so he would have known that Adam and Eve could understand the concept of life and unaliving.
So God is all-knowing, so he would know that they were going to eat the fruit of knowledge of good and evil.
Potentially, but doesn't exclude their actions as individual actors.
I know, Anima. This is genuinely. I don't. This is how I wanted to start my morning. I know you have to
address the audience because you don't want to actually address me. It's okay. I know you're running away, playing your little guitar.
This is my live stream. So if I kick you, I'm not running away.
Keep crying.
Okay, I forgot I was dealing with a child. Have a good rest of your day, dude.
Wow.
Child, have a good rest of your day, dude.
Absolutely
and
wrecked.
Here we go with the "I cooked you, bro" in the chat, right?
Yep, exactly.
So the reality is that Adam and Eve did not have knowledge of good and evil.
Just try to behave like an adult.
Absolutely wrecked, bro. I wrecked this guy. Yeah, we're better off not listening to that drivel.
The drivel? You had no fucking argument, dude. Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm not sending you
Let's remember to like the stream as much as we possibly can to get a better caliber of guests.